to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
We are back, everybody. I just had my lunch break, and I had a little bit of some comfort. I needed it. It is midday here on day 2. We're in the final stretch.
We are.
And I needed some energy. And it's a great conference. Everyone's great, but I cannot deal with another pre-packaged conference meal. It's like bad airplane, right? So I'm walking by a booth over there, and they have bagels. And I'm a New York guy. I'm a bagel guy. And I'm a bagel snob, but I also know beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
And it was more of a pastry bagel than a bagel, if you know what I'm saying. It was a little cakey on that, but it hit the spot. It was good. It was the energy that I needed. I'm here with Troy Simon from Concierge Health. Troy, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm excited about what you're building. You just gave us a brief little demo there, but pitch it to the audience, man. Tell us in a nutshell what you built, who it's for.
So we are a new age, I'll call us a new age benefits platform. We use AI to generate and curate a benefits program for each individual. Unlike all the other programs out there where basically they give you a storefront,
Right.
The member goes, they sign up, they put in their illnesses, what their allergies are, what their goals or what they want to accomplish in life. And we take that and run it through what we call our Wellbe engine. And that Wellbe engine takes this information and curates from our 36 partners a customized program for them to follow, every single month.
Interesting. So you're a dev at your roots.
I'm a dev.
You're a dev, and it kind of goes with a lot of these products that are built. They're built by devs, right?
Yeah.
It's a product led. But as a founder, it takes a certain breed.
Yeah.
It takes certain characteristics. What are one of those characteristics that you think you have in spades as a entrepreneur? What are some of those that helps you take your technical skills and now into your entrepreneurship?
You got to learn.
You've been at it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is you got to learn to listen. You got to take that input. Me being a dev, I've been doing it for 30 plus years now. Worked with a lot of big companies.
Been there, done that.
I've learned that you have to take this input. You have to be open to it and digest it and learn to build your products based on that. You can't build it in a vacuum and think they're going to use it. You got to get it out there into the field and let them use it.
It's sage advice, and I'm smirking because I've heard that before from successful entrepreneurs that I've interviewed. So it's a common thread there of don't build in a vacuum.
Correct.
Be iterative. It's an iterative process, right?
Yes.
You have to be open to evolving it.
Yep.
And don't be like, hey, we're done. That's it.
Yep.
No. You don't want to lock it in.
Yeah.
Because you have to be getting continuous consumer feedback. But let's pull back a little bit. Why health products? Why is health and wellness relevant to you?
It is. I started this journey 7-8 years ago. Big in tech, work in tech companies. Tech companies feed you a lot of food. You go on trips, they give you a lot more food.
More food.
This whole process started because I was overweight. I was about I think when I left working at tech companies, about 225, 230.
Tech fat.
Yes, exactly. And then started going to the gym. Beginning of the year, you start working out, you make friends at the gym, and interestingly, people vanished. Like, where did they go?
Fall off.
Right? So the concept of where we began and where we are now really comes from understanding why people left. And I coined a phrase of like body mechanics for the product. And it's like you take your car in, they run diagnostics, they want to figure out what the problems are. And that's how we really got started. And we worked 7 years doing different things and meeting these milestones to get where we are now, which is the Connections product.
Did you build this while you were working full-time somewhere else, or you were all in on entrepreneurship?
All in entrepreneur. Stopped working full-time job, said, let's start doing this. Met my business partner, actually met him in Vegas. And then we meticulously started saying, this is where we want to be each year.
Self-funded?
Self-funded. We actually raised a small amount right before COVID. And now we funded this whole product, got it up and running. And we are going to start looking for funding. You can't find funding and you can't have investors and build a 3-part product with investors because they're going to stop you and want you to just start working on that product and start selling it.
Right. They want to get their money back as quickly as possible.
Exactly. But you don't get 30. But you don't get 35 partners, big name partners, by doing that process of, you don't have time. You can't do both.
So what makes this app different? You were showing us before, and I saw some things that. Let's talk about how you're utilizing the AI technology. Because you can look around this event here, and we're seeing buzzword du jour. And I think a lot of companies and products, they slap AI on it, but they have no idea what it does. They can't even tell where the data comes from. That's always like the first question I ask.
Right.
Where's your data coming from, and what are you doing with it in terms of AI or ML?
Okay. So we're collecting our data from activity information. We're collecting it from your blood work, from your EMR information, all your data it's coming from 25 to 30 different sources. We're warehousing this in a Google Cloud where we can use that technology with what we call our Wellbe engine to process this information and understand and help diagnose or pre-diagnose issues or things that you're going to see. We picked Google because we've been watching them for the last 6-7 years. They are one of the leading infrastructure companies that have been focusing on healthcare and infrastructure, connecting all the EMRs and systems together.
Hey everybody, Adam here. Today's podcast is brought to you by the team at Fountain. Fountain is your full-service, frontline workforce management platform. I have to tell you, Fountain's offerings are some of the most robust I've seen from any product in the space. They offer full solutions for recruiting, hiring, and retention. They are truly a one-stop shop focused on the frontline workforce. They also create informative content using their data. For example, they analyze a bunch of data from their fast food clients and create a trend report you can download now on their website. They also have a new ebook out called Frontline Voices. It's a lot to dive into, so certainly check it out. And you can learn more at fountain.com, linked in the show notes. Tell them Adam sent you. Thanks.
It's a fascinating point, too. I mean, I think generally speaking, if we're talking, Web3 blockchain, I think that the healthcare industry, first and foremost, is ripe to be decentralized.
Yeah.
Right? And the ability to access and own your own health information.
Yes.
And having a dashboard to control it and say, okay, it's great that I don't know my health information.
Right.
But now what?
Yeah.
Now what do I do with it?
Yeah.
How, without getting too techie and too nerdy for everyone out there, talk a little bit how you train this AI model. Like, where are those inputs coming from? And how are you verifying them as like medically sound sources?
We spend a lot of time training engines. I mean, that's a year in the making of training the engine to understand, making sure it's collecting the right information, working with our partners to only collect the information that we need to train those engines with. Once a person's entering this information, this data, we're collecting it in real time, we're running it in the cloud, and we're taking this, processing it, and then what most people don't do with it is create a result that actually makes sense based on other information that, from our partners and from our infrastructure network that we have.
What's been your biggest challenge so far right now in that process?
Our biggest challenge is really getting all our partners to build AI, to build interfaces to allow it to work. A lot of companies, surprisingly, that claim to be tech companies don't have infrastructure to share data with other companies, right? This world now is becoming a giant data pool, a collective pool of information.
Commoditization
and a lot of companies aren't able to do that. So that was the biggest challenge, but I think, that was a prerequisite for joining this company, joining the Connections product. And initially was, you have to build it. So a lot of it was working with them to build their teams, to build the interfaces to make this work in a secure way. Right? You can't just slap this together. You got personal information. You got to make sure that it's secure, locked down. We have protocols that we have to follow.
You said something. You showed me something interesting when you were giving me the demo. You gave an example of a family, so one partner looking to get pregnant and having resources. How does that feed in from a customization standpoint? Like, are there opt-ins to say, like, we are looking to conceive or have a child, and like we want these resources?
Yes.
And
go ahead.
I'm saying, like, how does that, like, where are you pulling those resources in from? How do you feed that?
So
from a partner perspective,
there's other screens we have. There's a whole profile screen where you set your account up, and then the member, your family members will go download the app as well, and then we connect them. Each member has this 14-digit ID, so you can't just spoof this or just put it in. So you'll grab it from your kids, you'll grab it from your wife, you'll add this together. Once that's bound together, then you become you become a collective family system.
Right, it's a system.
Right. So now you are able to work with your wife and say, these are some of the problems that I'm having. These are some of the problems you're having. We want to conceive a baby. How do we go about figuring out what doctors to go to? How do we figure out what do we need to make this happen?
How's adoption? What phase are we in? Are we beta testing it? Is it in market?
We're rolling out a market.
Okay.
Congrats
on that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That's a big phase, like getting MVP to in market.
Yeah, we went through our MVP was about 900 folks for 7 months, and the age range was from 18 to 96.
You got to get it all in there,
and we got to get them all in there because you never know where they are, and build something that everyone will like. We got beat up very bad in the beginning.
That's the point, though.
It is.
You got to work through those things.
Some founders and some companies don't like that concept and idea, but that's how you have to build a solid product. We went through. We saw once we got no more chatter, we knew that we had a product that was sound, and that's what you saw today.
What's next on the horizon? What's the next challenge you're about to take on? What's the next major hurdle from a business and product perspective?
Products, we're going to just keep building. We're at about 26 partners here. I think we're going to most likely end up around 100. So just building out those channel partners, getting the integration, getting that system built, and then building out the AI, making it more robust and more smarter, easier to interact with, and more humanist. We like systems that feel
what do you mean
like
by
you
that?
can talk to.
Yeah, like how do you train the model to be human? I mean, even the app itself has a lot of characteristics and personality. It looked accessible.
Yeah.
It didn't look like something I just want to be like, get
So,
that crap away. But like, how do you like?
We're giving it what I
psychological
call personalities,
standpoint.
right? So if you noticed where you look at our Wellbe team, it's not just a little bunch of circles. We gave them faces. Each one has a personality. They're different nationalities.
Right.
So when you go in, it's diversity that's built in. So that's what we're doing to change the app and not make it something that's really stale and no one wants to use. We want people to feel good about interacting with it every single day.
Yeah, I love that. Let's bring it home here. What outside of what you're building, you're a tech guy. I can tell you got your finger on the pulse. What's exciting you? Like it could be consumer tech, B2B tech, health tech, fintech, whatever it is. What is one product or technology that's exciting you? Like, the future's bright. This is gonna be cool.
I know everybody says it. It's AI.
But what about it?
So I like how they're starting to make it more interacting and more personal with folks. And we're following the same models that these guys are building in our platform, right? Sooner or later, they're going to give it a face. They're going to give it a personality, right? They can now start to see your reactions and have conversations with you. When we were dealing with the seniors in the Medicare and Medicaid, one of the biggest problems and one of the things we noticed in our product is they would interact with our AI because it was personable. It would ask them questions. And I think long-term, this is going to help a lot of folks. We're going to go through our bumps and get there.
Of course, that's the name business.
It's exciting to see it grow.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Troy, this has been awesome. I wish you a good rest of your conference. I hope it's successful to you. Where can folks connect? Where can they learn more?
You can go to conciergehealth.co.
This is where you put it, because it's going to go right here. Yep.
Conciergehealth.co, and reach out to us, and let's figure out where to go.
I love it, man. Troy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search the Podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.